Well, howdy. Welcome here to the Double M Farm. Gonna see if it's cold as heck out here. No, I'm not talking to you, crazy goat. Let's see how hard it'll be to crank the little Suzuki Carry. Hopefully she'll crank. She's pretty good about cranking in cold weather, but that's one of those things that you just never know.
Free. I always wanted to learn Spanish, but
Hey, not bad. Back her up here and check her out. Need to haul off some trash to the trash dump. So, let's see if we can warm her up. Drive back to the back of the farm and haul off a little trash. Come on. Need to adjust the choke a little. So she's wanting to slow back down. Come on. Alright, we'll let her warm up and then we'll jump down there and see if we can load up some trash. Okay, down here in the bottom corner, I've got some stuff that I need to haul off. Some old wire stuff. Let's see what we got here. All of this needs to go to the dump. So we're gonna see if we can get it all loaded up in the back of Dumpy there. Need to haul that old tractor off too. But by myself, I sure can't load that, but I'll see what I can get loaded and we'll go dump it in the at the convenience center. If it's not too crowded. See how Dumpy does. Okay, got some of that old scrap metal and fence wire in there. Let's see if I think we got enough air in the tires. These are Sun F off-road ATV tires. They're not the best for running down the highway, but can't take them off because I drive it off the highway more than I do on. And if I take them off and put the street tires on, I wind up just spinning and having a hard time getting up and down these hills on the farm. So for what little bit I do travel on the highway, I just put up with the road noise and try to drive a little slower with these heavy lug tires. So what we're going to do, I'm going to shut the door on the shop before I leave. So I'm here by myself. I don't want to leave the shop open while I'm gone. Shut the door on the shop. We'll run on up here to the trash dump and see how Dumpy does. Alright, we're going to run up here to the dump. Sitting at the stop sign waiting for the traffic. One thing you don't want to do in these little mini trucks is pull out in front of any oncoming traffic, because the first gear is really low. This is a 94 Suzuki Carry, and as low as first gear is, you're not going to get up to a fast speed enough to get out of somebody's way. So the last last thing you want to do is pull out of a stop sign or an intersection when there's a lot of traffic. And I'll probably skip over most of this, because if you can hear me, those tires are really loud on the highway. Oh, we got lucky. Nobody here. Sometimes you have to wait in line to dump your trash. We'll back up here and see if we can get this load of metal thrown out. Alrighty. Wow, I'm shocked. I've been here when the cars were lined up. Holy cow. You just never know what people are going to throw away. Big old washing machine. Satellite dishes. A little bit of everything. You know what? If I don't put my gloves on, I'm going to probably regret it. Yep. These tires hopefully aren't going to get too hot running up and down this highway. Now the fun part, getting this wire out of here, because it's all sticking together. Sticks to my gloves and wants to carry me over in there with it. Let's see what we can do here. Now this is just going to be fun. You don't want to see any of this. We'll be back after I get all this unloaded. How about that? Okay, we got her emptied out. Now we'll let the wind blow all that trash out. Whew, goodness gracious, that wind is cold. It is January the 27th, I believe it is. And it's about 38 degrees with a whole lot of wind blowing. Could stop right there at Pat's and get me a hot dog, but I think I'll pass today. I was saying earlier, this is a 94 Suzuki Carry with the dump body. It's 4-speed, 3-cylinder engine. When I get up to a highway speed, it'll get a little bit quieter. But if you're looking for a side-by-side or UTV, ATV to use on your farm, I would highly recommend one of these things. You can buy them most of the time. If you shop around, you can buy these things a lot cheaper than any of the side-by-sides. You can get them in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. In 2-wheel drive, it tends to spin a lot. The rear end is extremely light because the motor, especially on the Suzukis and some of the others, I'm trying to remember which ones, but a lot of them are extremely light in the rear end because the engine, I'm sitting on top of the engine, so that makes the front end, the rear end get very light. So like on the farm, going uphill on the gravel drive, I usually put it in 4-wheel drive high range just to keep it from spinning and scattering my gravel all over the road. But The good part about these things is what I'm doing right now. A lot of places you can't drive your side-by-side or ATV on the highway, and even if you can, if the law will let you, and it varies in different areas, but if the law will let you drive yours on the highway, you don't in most cases have an enclosed cab with windshield wipers, turn signals, seat belts, a heater. You can even get these things with an air conditioner. So if you can get one of these for less money than a side-by-side, I'm really not sure why anybody would go with the side-by-side. One thing, if you run it off-road a lot, you'll want to put a lift kit on it, because these things are very low to the ground. I've got a winch, a little small, I think it's a 3500 winch on the front that I got at Harbor Freight. And I have run this thing in the woods a lot, four-wheel, and it does great, but it will bottom out. So if you're going to do a lot of that, you can do searches on the internet. There are a lot of lift kits available that for just about all of these. I have found one of the reasons I went with the Suzuki is parts. I found, it's nice not to have to holler. I found that there were more parts available just by doing my research on the internet. I found more parts readily available on the Suzuki than on a lot of the other brands. But that don't mean you can't find the parts. They're out there. And I'm tired of hollering, so we'll pause here and pick it back up. I'm going to stop up here and get some fuel for it. So we'll pick it back up at the gas station. Well, we have a log jam at the gas station. I can't even get to the gas pump. Didn't have a log jam at the trash dump, but I got a log jam at the gas pump. Well, it's a popular place. Let's put some fuel in this thing so we have enough to get back home. You have to put gas in these things real slow or it'll kick back on you. Or at least on this particular brand, it will. Alrighty, this is a busy place today. Looks like this is the place to be. Roll this window up, this pneumonia hole. As I was saying, it's if you're in the market for something in the line of a small four-wheel drive ATV, UTV, side-by-side, whatever, to use on the farm and around town. I'm waiting on a bunch of traffic that's coming. I highly recommend these things. They're economical. That's the first time I've put gas in this thing in a long time. And it gets, depending on how you're driving and what you're doing, I've gotten anywhere from 42 to 38 to 42 miles to the gallon. So if I put highway tires on it, it'd be quiet. You could carry on a normal conversation. But like I said earlier, I just use it in the woods too much to run the street tires on it. Because with that light rear end, even in four-wheel drive, the rear end will spin. And it's just easier to drive it around the farm with these heavy look Sun F tires. These are a 12-inch tire. So we're going to head back to the farm and see what else trouble we can get into. Well, we made it all the way back to the farm without wrecking or blowing up. These little things turn a really high RPM, especially on the highway. The speedometer is in kilometers per hour, so you have to kind of figure that on the fly. I generally run between 45 and 55 miles an hour. I try not to push it too hard, especially with these heavy lug tires. I don't want to overheat them and then start throwing rubber all over the highway. But that is a quick ride on the highway. Didn't show as much as I thought I would, but it was just too noisy with these tires. Let's see how hot they are. Oh, not hot at all. Good. Of course, the fact that it's maybe 40 degrees, that one is maybe warm. The fact that it's 40 degrees out here might have something to do with it. And the wind blowing. Yeah, tires aren't hot. Now I done got my hands messy. No, they didn't overheat at all. They're just noisy. But they're a good tire if you are in the market for off-road tires. This Sun F is one of the least expensive tires on the market for off-road ATVs. That's what it's made for, and it says on it's a 6-ply. It says not for highway use written right there. But you know, what are you gonna do? Sun F 22 712s. What I'm thinking about doing, I've got the street tires for this thing under the shop over there. I'm thinking about getting another set of rims. Really, I could just get 3. Well, get 4. I could use this rim because I don't see that I would ever need a spare tire with the off-road tires. But you know, who knows? Someday I may. But I'm thinking about getting another set of rims and mounting those highway tires so I could switch pretty quick. I mounted these using the Harbor Freight small tire tool over there. This is how you get to the engine. There's the dipstick for the oil right there. The timing belt cover. It's very easy. There's your jack. Very easy to get to the handle. Well, there's one of the handle for the jack. Some of them, the handle's behind the seat. I'm missing the plate that goes right here. I'm going to have to get on the internet and do some searching, see if some of the dealers have got one. There are a couple of really good dealers. There's a guy in Blue Ridge, Georgia, that's on Facebook Marketplace a lot that sells them. And that's where I got this one. And then there's also close to us. I'm in the upstate of South Carolina. But close to us is also Mayberry, small, what is it, Mayberry mini trucks, I believe is what he calls it. And he's up in the Winston-Salem area of North Carolina, a couple of hours away. So that's, I mean, they're easy to find. Like I say, I search on the internet. They don't come with a rear bumper. That's one I had and I put on there because I use it to tow my little Harbor Freight trencher around the farm and load. This one is the dump body. And it was rusted up pretty bad. I had to reinforce some places. I got some surface rust coming through I need to work on. But just wanted to give you a little ride around of our Suzuki Carry Japanese mini truck that we have named Dumpy for obvious reasons. That's the little Harbor Freight 3500 winch. I mounted on the front, just welded up a frame. And that is the stock height. Those tires gave me probably a 1/2 inch lift. And I may put about a 2-inch lift on it. It's not hard to do. Shackle on the back and a spacer on the front coil springs and you got it. That's all there is to it, doing the lift. So, got a little work out of Dumpy this morning. now I'm going to go back inside the shop there and see if I can get warmed up a little. Appreciate you joining us here on the Double M Farm, and we'll talk to you again real soon.